first one up, let's give a hand to our red Protoss from Dragon Phoenix Gaming. He's none other than Rogue.
And his opponent, the blue Protoss from our very own Alpha X, it is Astrea.
With the coolest name of them all, Max Angel.
Man, I'm looking at that gateway and the pylon, and I see all those gold minerals right next to it. Almost gave me a heart attack.
Yeah, I mean, this is like the StarCraft version of the Gold Rush.
Yeah.
A lot of golds to take there.
Now, for Protoss tech against Zerg, we talked a little bit in the last matchup about Protoss versus Terran. Would you say that Stargate is more common against Zerg, or is it less?
Oh, I would say yeah, it's definitely a lot more common in PvZ. I think really there's not a lot of. I mean, well, I guess similar to PvT, I think the main two openings are Stargate, either Stargate or Twilight Council. Now, the Twilight Council is usually to either Glaive Adepts or it could maybe even be DTs, although that's not as common nowadays. It's mainly more for Glaive Adepts, you know, those sort of things. But yeah, I think Stargate is the go-to for PvZ, while in PvT, I think a lot of Protosses are still kind of really comfortable with Blink Stalkers openings. So you do see a little bit more balance between Twilight openings and Stargate openings in PvT, but in PvZ, I think a lot of Protoss do prefer going for air.
Right, right. Now, when a Protoss opens Stargate, is it common at all for them to go for Warp Gate before Stargate? Or is it pretty much like established that you need to get the Stargate before your Warp Gate?
Yeah, so the idea is that you skip the Warp Gate, well, you get the Stargate before the Warp Gate because the extra bit of 50-minute gas can be used to place down a quicker Stargate. And the quicker the Stargate, the quicker the Orko. And the quicker the Orko, the better chance you have at killing some drones before the Spore Crawlers are up.
Right.
And of course, really, there's not a lot of reasons for you to get an early Warp Gate in PvZ.
Right.
Because, I mean, unless he's doing like a 6 pool or something crazy, there's really not a lot of urgency to get that Warp Gate technology.
Right. Because by the time the Protoss needs to be warping in units, it's well past when Warp Gate finishes, I assume.
Yeah. I mean, usually it transitions to like a 3 Nexus thing, and then by the time the Zerg player attacks, maybe like with a Queen Walk or something, the Gateway Warp Tech is well ahead and finished already. So yeah, not a lot of reasons to have to get that early Gateway Tech or Warp Gate Tech.
Right. Oh, now this is interesting. We see an Evo chamber going down at the 4-minute mark behind Rogue's natural. Looks like he could be going maybe for quick +1 melee? I'm not sure.
Yeah, definitely a possibility. Although still a little bit of a mystery as to what Rogue wants to go for. He could go for the Queen Walk after scouting the air tech, the Stargate opening. Although he hasn't really scouted any like second Stargate or anything like that. So I think right now he's just kind of macroing up. It's gonna be, I think, either roaches or something, but it could definitely just be, you know, the standard melee into some Zerglings just to defend the early game.
Right. Okay, now we do see the Protoss following up with charge and +1 ground attack. Oh, we also see a Baneling nest for Rogue, so I think this is definitely going into a sort of Ling Bane kind of phase.
Yeah, don't think Rogue. Wait, actually, let me just double check here. Yeah, he has no idea what Australia is going for. He has like 0 vision on his main base. So right now, I think Rogue is just kind of guessing. He needs to just like scout with his lings, I think, and see what's up, what's at the front. Because right now he's just pretty much in the dark and just kind of responding to things in which he doesn't know what he's responding to, right?
Right. Yeah, depending on how the zealots, the charge lots, engage, it could be very cost efficient for Astrea, especially since we do see some High Templar being produced now. They're going to turn into Archons. Imagine if Archons soak up all the Banelings, then then it could get pretty dicey for Rogue. But it looks like he's just going to move out with the Queens, so it will be, like you said, it is going to be a Queen walk.
Yeah, now there is a little bit of a kind of difference because you do see a lot of these Zerg players actually Queen walk with Roach, Ravager, and Lings, Speedlings,
right,
along with it. But this time around, no Roaches at all. It's just going to be Queens, Banelings, and Lings. That's just it.
Yeah. That is a lot of Banelings being produced right now.
Oh my goodness.
This is interesting. No Bane speed is on the way. Either Rogue forgot it, or he does not need it for this push. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how Astrea defends. We do see some cannons being produced, but it might be too late. I'm not sure. We do see 3 Archons, and they're going to be instrumental in holding off the Ling Bane. But the Queens are already up on the high ground, and here we go.
Alright, here comes the Banelings. They're gonna roll your boat gently down the Protoss army. merrily getting killed by cannons and Archons. Wow.
Yeah, now there still are a few stragglers trying to come in, but it looks like virtually no probes have gone down. A bunch of Lings in the front did get trapped by the Stasis Ward. Funnily enough, they did act temporarily as a wall between both armies. But yeah, GG is called. Astrea will take game number 1. Alright, we're already seeing a very early pylon. Doesn't look like Rogue is... Wait, you're kidding. Rogue is going for the gold base and he's gonna see the pylon. Okay.
Oh, wow.
A gateway.
This is
This is already a fascinating game.
Yeah.
I mean, if Rogue didn't go for the greedy gold base, he would not have seen the proxy gateway, but now he sees it. So what is the follow-up? I'm so curious to, pick apart Astrea's brain right now and try to piece together what he's thinking.
Yeah, well, I was actually kind of surprised off the bat that he was even going for that proxy gateway at that location, because so often Zergs do take the gold base on this map. And so I would imagine that he would like build it somewhere else where it's a little bit more hidden, but yeah, he just decided to go for that. I mean, in the end, I think it's not too, it doesn't set him too far behind. He is gonna go ahead and actually throw down a second Nexus, so he is not all in on this.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna make a very, very big brained analysis right now. I think Astrea knew that Rogue was gonna go for the gold, and he wanted him to see his proxy gateway. That way he could prompt some sort of overreaction. Because like you said, Astrea is definitely not all in. So maybe this is his way of outplaying his opponent.
Oh yeah. I mean, Australia is one of those players that just really kind of plays into the meta of things, the psyche of his opponents, and yeah, that if that was the case, if that was actually true, I wouldn't be surprised.
Right. Oh, look at that slippery zealot. Wow, I thought it would be dead, maybe a minute ago, but nope, still alive, still kicking just for the time being, but looks like it will be an adept follow-up, as well as a Stargate back home.
Now the question is, does he have anything at home to defend? Because there's a bunch of Lings coming across the map, and
this is pretty scary, actually.
He's not stopping. He's just like making more Lings.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
A fast recall on the one adept is going to shoo back the first 6 lings. We do see a gateway going up, completing that wall 4 now, but this is dicey. Ooh.
Oh man, Linsky is about to finish as well. This adept is going to get caught out. Oh man, Astrea doesn't have enough for an Oracle.
Yeah, this is very, very dicey already. GG is called. Rogue is going to tie up the series.
Alright, looks like Astrea gonna go ahead and send that early probe. This time around, not to proxy, of course, just to block the hatchery, as all Protoss does these days. However, I feel like this is actually one of the maps that is actually maybe more beneficial to not block the hatchery, because usually the Zerg players actually goes for the third base, the second base at the triangular side, and which means that the creep spread is going to reach the Protoss base a bit quicker, and it also makes the queen walk much more dangerous, as the distance is actually shorter.
Yeah, I was just about to mention, you know, looking at the distance between both players' naturals as they, you know, where they are right now, it looks pretty dangerous, you know, dangerously close. Just a few minutes of creep spreading, and you know, it seems like Rogue could be at Astrea's doorstep.
Yeah, for sure. At this point, they're practically neighbors, and they will have to start putting up decorating Christmas lights to see who's got the best Christmas lighthouse. I gotta say, like, you know those people that really decorate their houses, right, with the Christmas lights. Like,
Dude, I live next to some of them. Yep.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
It's crazy the amount of time and effort. Like I respect it, because you know they're really into the holiday spirit.
yeah. I mean, same with Halloween. Like, some houses, they
Oh
just
yeah.
decorate like crazy, and it's very admirable, because again, it does take a lot of effort and work onto that.
Right. So it looks like Astrea is going to follow up with a Twilight Council. Now, what do you think this could be? Could this be for Glaive Adepts? Could it be for DTs?
You know, I think it's going to be for Glaive Adepts, and the reason why is basically for the same reason as we did for the Zerg, where we said that the Queen Walk would be more closer. Well, the same can be true for the Protoss, where the Glaive Adepts can reach the Zerg more quicker as well. So it goes both ways, and that's exactly what Astrea is going for. Glaive's upgrade has started.
Especially because Rogue has taken the triangle base as his third/natural. It's going to be a lot more, or not a lot, but it's, you know, it's just better for the player with the adepts to be able to sort of hop in between the different bases.
Yeah, that's a good point. And now we do see, actually gonna mix in the Warp Prism. I was gonna say, like, I would have preferred him to go for a 4-gate and skip the Robo, because really the point of the Warp Prism is to have faster reinforcement point, but with the short distance between the bases, I think you could just kind of warp in back at home and just go across the map. But Astrea is gonna go ahead and actually elect to go for that Warp Prism instead.
Yeah, that is an interesting decision, especially because there are only 3 warp gates out on the field. But here we go. The first 5 adepts are going to be reinforced. Oh, I'm sorry. There are 4 warp gates. Alright, queens are going to engage at the front. Lings are going to come in from the side. More lings are on the production tab. Now, these adepts are going to get a little bit caught. They are going to complete their warp in, targeting some drones in the natural. So far, pretty decent shading back and forth. These lings are going to be a little bit distracted, as there is... Oh, that is why Astrea opted for the Warp Prism. That way he could do a separate warp-in on the high ground. But so far, you know, 2 drones is not bad, right? But it's you expect a little bit more return on your investment for so many adepts.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna need to find some more damage. Okay, it looks like he's starting to. He actually has a nice little position, little spot behind this gas area. And,
yeah,
it's kind of
I like this a lot. Like, you actually have not just one, but you actually have two separate adept armies, basically. Now, they did join up at the third, but I wonder why Rogue took so long to make roaches, right? Because the roach one was done for a pretty long period of time, but he's been subsisting on a bunch of lings. I think it's because he didn't have enough gas, possibly, but look at this. These adepts are quite a nuisance now.
Yeah, the thing about this map is the bases are actually really the distance between the bases are really long, so these adepts, the mobility is actually really helping out Astrea. And of course, you combine that with the Warp Prism, it makes it much difficult for Rogue to kind of defend. And I mean, well, at the very least he does stabilize, but he does lose a bunch of drones. Let's see here, how many drones has he lost thus far? 20. Wow.
Yeah, the Protoss is literally doubling his opponent. Was literally doubling his opponent in the worker count. Right, we see Astrea with the third Nexus up, 50 probes, 51 probes versus 28 drones. So I think that Rogue's only real option is the counterattack, but looks like he's gonna opt for the droning up, which, you know, is also not a bad idea. But, you know, Astrea just put himself in the lead with that massive adept attack.
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty much Astrea's game to lose. You can't really ask for a better position right now when you're way ahead in the economy of the Zerg player. And remember, he does not have any lair, so his tech tree is going to be really far behind. And Astrea is going to go ahead and start putting on some pressure here. And I like this. This kind of forces Rogue to stop droning and force some units out.
Yeah, honestly, Astrea is really reading his opponent quite well. Now, these adepts are going to shade on forward. Looks like these queens are going to fall already. 3 Ravagers in the back are going to do their best, but they're not going to be enough. These adepts actually complete their shade onto the high ground. More drones are going down, and yeah, the writing is on the wall. I don't see a way that Rogue recovers from this, at least in a clean way or in a fast way. You know, anything is possible, but the chances are just getting slimmer and slimmer.
Yeah, it seems like the snowball effect has commenced, and there we have it. Rogue taps out, and Astrea, he picks up the series 2-1.